Welcome to episode 40 of the official podcast for Guardian 1, a Destiny group dedicated to the prosperity of Guardians everywhere. We broadcast live Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Guardian 1 Network. My name is Remy, and tonight I am joined by Crimson Warlock.
5 days, Guardian.
Jez.
Good morning.
Agrios.
Greetings, Guardians.
And half of the reason I exist, Old Man.
Ahoy, ahoy.
We are going to be talking about all things Destiny, but first, housekeeping.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening in on the podcast. However it is that you choose to listen, be sure to follow Guardian1 on Twitter at G1NET. Just a reminder, the Twitter account is the only instance where we use the number 1. So, and again, that's G1NET. In addition, be sure to check out the Guardian 1 website at guardian1.net. Also send us feedback to our email, feedback@guardian1.net. We also have a Bungie.net forums group that's currently at 122 members. If you want to join, just search for the group name Guardian 1. Guardian 1 has its own clan, so if you want to join the Guardian 1 clan, just select the buttons that say Set as PlayStation Clan or Set as Xbox Clan. After you join the group, we utilize the forums for comments and feedback, so be sure to join the conversations going on there. Big thank you to all those currently in the Twitch chat. As Remy said at the top of the podcast, you can watch the show live at twitch.tv/Guardian1 Network. We broadcast every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Can't catch the show live? You can always go to the Guardian 1 YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian1 Network. Guardian 1 is a proud member of the Guardian Radio Network, so be sure to check out the Guardian Radio Network website at theguardiansofdestiny.com. There you'll find all the different podcasts as part of the network, including the flagship podcast Guardian Radio. They broadcast every Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, on twitch.tv/Guardian Radio. You can also follow their Twitter account at Guardians of D and their YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian Radio. Other podcasts include Warlock School, TTL Party Chat, the DOD podcast, and also the... What's it called? Oh, man, I'm like at a loss right now.
Sorry, River.
Ghost Echoes. There we go. That works. That's it.
Sorry, River. I've been meaning to change that out, but it's number 1 too funny, and number 2 I just don't have that time.
Hollow River will not be reprogrammed.
Right. This is it's all the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Yes. 5 days. 5 days until we get new content for this House of Wolves. It's very exciting times. Unfortunately, the patch notes won't hit until tomorrow at best, so we will have to wait and see. But I'm really on the fence about whether or not we should read those leaked patch notes, because it's not like these leaked things have been too far off the mark. So we'll just see how the conversation goes. It's slow news day. We could very well be out of here on time. But first, I would like to introduce my father, Old Man, to the community. Everyone, this is Old Man.
Okay, hi there, everyone. Hold on just a moment, though, young man. I don't mind being referred to as Remy's Old Man, but just as Old Man? I don't know.
Well, it's pretty unique. I haven't seen anyone else claim Old Man in the Destiny community yet. So, but yeah. So why don't you? Right? But not Ancient Man.
No, not quite yet.
So
let's put it this way, Remy. You can tell them all how I can hold my own real well with Destiny.
Right, you definitely can, and you can attribute that to your insane love of Dead Island. Like, I don't know what it was about Dead Island that sucked you in, but I've
Dead
never
Island was the turning point. Yeah.
I've never seen you, take apart a game like that before. It was amazing. Like watching my dad, just insanely love Dead Island, and you beat it like 6 times over and over. Like you went far above and beyond. And then I started.
I just like taking that machete and slashing things. That's about all there is to it, I guess. It's like my love of the auto rifle in Destiny. I just like shooting things with many bullets.
So what is your favorite auto rifle in Destiny?
This last one I got,
Which was
the one you helped me get, the Angus Young. No, I don't know. Got my ACDC.
it was Abyss Defiant. Okay, so
Yeah,
so
because
for
you have to say it. I can't figure out what are you saying, and then I see it. Okay, yeah, because it really takes out those shields real fast.
right, okay, so for everyone listening, this was my father's very first primary with an elemental damage modifier, and it's
Congratulations.
I mean, it really does change the game the
Oh
way you
yeah, for
play it.
sure.
You know, it
Oh well, we
changes.
kind of cheated. You know, he helped me get it.
That was my
So,
next point. Was that my dad is this kind of person? He is the lone wolf. You know, he doesn't need anyone. Uh,
if we're going to talk about that, let me give the example of actually how it's kind of ironic because today I was playing on the weekly strike, and I was playing with two people that just would not stay out of harm's way. Um, and so and it was for so long I played all by myself. I couldn't get nothing done. They were both dead, ready to be waiting to be revived. And I said, "Well, fuck it, I'll go revive them." I went to go revive them, and I'm dead. And it was like the ghoul was like just that little sliver, and it would have been completely dead. But no, and it was like, um, and I'm the one now because of Destiny that doesn't just because I used to be the one that would just run into a room and start shooting, and you can't do that with Destiny.
yeah.
Or well, you can, but you won't get very far.
Well, okay. So there was a period of time where you stopped playing Destiny. Like we used to
Yeah,
play pretty regularly, and
I
then you
played
just
we played for like 4 months, 5 months when it came out. Pretty
yeah.
much every single day for like 6 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And so you hit this wall. You hit this wall where you just weren't interested in it. It wasn't
yeah.
it wasn't something that you could see not playing ever again. But you just stopped
Well,
playing.
it's a love hate thing because it's like, are we just going to have the interview with the two of us? Is that what's going on here?
Well, I mean, we're only 10 minutes into the show, and I don't.
Uh,
I mean,
we're
Oh,
rolling.
Agriel's
we're here. We're
We're rolling.
listening. Don't worry.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
What
Just
was the
wait
question?
until
What was the question? What was the question?
You're talking about not playing Destiny. Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
hit a wall.
Um, uh, it's I go to play like other games, and it's like I feel like well, but I could be on Destiny, you know, leveling up that armor, right?
yeah.
And so I can't. It's almost ruined me for other games because if I was spending time on other games, I could have spent that time on Destiny.
Right.
But then again, sometimes I just get like, God damn, like this afternoon or this morning with those two persons, and it was just like, well, that strike that was 35 minutes of my life wasted, and you can't do anything about it. Um,
Right.
one glitch that I've had today that I just remembered, the screen has gone black, and it's like when you get kicked off the server, right?
Uh-huh.
But it comes right back on. Any idea what that might be?
Yeah, I got nothing. Agrios, have you heard about this?
Say exactly what happened again. The screen turned black and what?
Screen turns black, and then it just pops back on after about maybe 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. But it goes
I've
black.
never had that happen to me. You're playing on last gen though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's on
Okay.
360.
Yeah, 360.
I've noticed this week a rash of while I was on. It didn't disconnect me from my session, but I would get the attention contacting Destiny servers in the bottom of my screen. It would flash up several times over and over again. And I noticed that happening to me several times this week. I figured it was just them doing stuff in preparation for the House of Wolves. I don't usually get something like that. I wonder if on last gen that wouldn't cause the screen to go temporarily black if it was contacting the servers briefly or something.
Well, they were mentioning something about that in the weekly update about how this was actually what we would see if it was trying to rescue our connection so that we didn't get dropped. But I mean, you'd think that they would warn us about something like that if they were going to add everyone to the test bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
it
really
does sound an awful lot like that process potentially. So
right. Right? Maybe they're just focused on you. You're the one who keeps losing connection. You're the last bad connection on the 360. But yeah, so it was really interesting and really cool to watch this transformation with you and your like you were saying, you would rush in and then you would get shot, and that's not how you play. And I remember saying something to you. We were in like a nightfall, and you were just really kicking ass. And I was like, I don't know what happened to you in the time that you stopped playing, but it's seriously, you leveled up. It was really cool, and it's really fun to play with you now because now it's just my 7-year-old who's who's running out there getting shot. So yeah,
We throw him. We kick his ass out into the. Get out there, kid. Get yourself killed. Go ahead.
right. Let them shoot at you, and we'll shoot
Yeah.
them. Everything will work out fine.
Well, that's the problem I was having on this night.
Agrios has my 7-year-old's job because that's what Agrios does. Is he rushes out there, but with him, he's been playing video games for some time now, so.
Well, I figure when I have teammates that I know are capable of reviving me, my goal is to do as much DPS as possible and end up in a revivable location so that we complete it expediently. I can also solo without dying once, but that takes patience. I'd rather just use skill and die in a revivable location. That's the way I look at it anyway.
Right, and what's that?
Go ahead. I was just going to say that where I was talking about was where the Omnigul, where they're in the building with all the like, generators and stuff.
Mhm.
And if you get out of that one room, that first room, and go into the other room, you're dead. You know, something's gonna get you.
Yeah.
You just can't hang out there. And it's something you learn. You know, the first time you walk in there, you're gonna die.
So like you were saying that you came across these two boneheads, and it's
No, they're just persons.
It's part of the experience, because sometimes I will get those people and I'll think, man, what, these people are turds, and other times I will get the other Agrios, or
sometimes I'll get people another person it feels like, God, did they program this? They know exactly what they're doing, and
right.
You know, and it's like, wait a minute, I want to follow them around for a while.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. Where are they going? I'd like to be part of their fire team, because wherever they're going, they're going to win.
Exactly.
I love those people when you get with them and everything just goes super smooth.
And it's so fun, and you look at the end and you've killed 23 things and they each have 117, and you think, man, you know, like, and you know they aren't mad at you because you don't continue to die. Like, just keep up and we'll get through this. And it's, I don't know. So,
and then they don't add you as a friend and you feel bad.
You know what? I've never had the nuts to just ask somebody for their friendship like that. So you're the man, Crimson Warlock. Okay, yeah, maybe we should get to let's get to some news and see what we have. What do we have, Agrios?
Well, like you said before, it's a little bit of a slow news week, but we got a new video today. It appears it's going to be our last dose of footage before the release. It featured new shots of new gameplay, gear, enemies, and missions. And in it, we saw several shots of different legendaries and exotics, including the Infinite Theorem, Tomorrow's Answer, and Jewel of Osiris weapons from Trials of Osiris. Ikaheka's hooks. I think that's how you say that. That's one of the new exotic gauntlets. Celestial Nighthawk. We saw some images of that before. Its eyes glow. It's the new exotic hunter helmet. We saw the new ACD/0 feedback fence exotic gauntlets for the Titan.
I'm looking forward to those.
We saw a fallen wire rifle. We got some new angles on the ram being used in combat for the Warlock helmet. We saw again the Vestian Dynasty, new sidearm, secondary slot pistol. We saw some images of the Lord of Wolves, several pieces of the new Prison of Elders armor, and many others I haven't named. There are even some new screenshots that have surfaced. One in particular is of a new vehicle, some sort of pike variant, it appears. Two separate updates will still pave the way for us to experience Expansion 2. Earlier this week, we were supposed to get the first of those on Tuesday, but a delay was caused, which they've been updating us on all week. One of the most recent updates says that solutions for technical issues have delayed the delivery of updates and have been identified. Work is ongoing, and we'll release the new content and patch notes as soon as we can. Stand by for more information on timing. In the update tonight, they told us that currently all signs point toward tomorrow. That's Friday morning, Bungie time. And as soon as they have any information, they're going to let us know, and they promise that patch notes will immediately follow. And at that point, they say that all of our questions about the world changes to come will be answered. They again stress the world changes. So I'm hoping for something impressive here.
Like what? Do you have an example?
I don't know. I'm sure anything I dream up right at the moment is going to be far more than anything anyone could hope that they would accomplish. Like my scenario about the catch crashing the ground for a public event or something the other day.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for dynamic changes to the world. Like I'm hoping either the areas that we're in already are in somehow, scenically, the form has changed. Maybe something's destroyed, leveled, or a new part is open in a patrol area on each planet, or something like that drastic. It would be really impressive to me.
If I might interrupt,
Yep.
I think you might be on right on there. I think you might be exactly on target.
I'm hoping.
The last sentence you said about the opening up new areas in existing worlds, I think that's probably going to happen. I don't know, just kind of an intuition.
I feel like we need it. I was kind of disappointed when The Dark Below came out and we got these new story missions and new areas, but we can't go back to them while we're exploring, patrolling and stuff. And so I hope that those areas are open not just for the story only, but for all of us to explore.
Exactly.
What do you think, Jez?
I think it would be much better to expand the patrol area. So, yeah, like exactly what you guys were talking about, making the new areas actually part of the patrol area instead of just like places you hit once in a while.
So you mean like some of the content that takes you further down into the smaller rabbit holes, like you want there to be a new area to interact in. That sounds pretty cool. I could definitely see us getting something similar to like the Blades of Crota that doesn't necessarily change anything. But yeah, new places to explore would be really cool. I'm really ready to explore them. Like I see all these other games. Like this Final Fantasy 15 has these gigantic worlds. Why don't we have gigantic worlds? I mean, and I don't want to knock what Bungie has there, because what they have there is beautiful. Almost every time I play Destiny, I'm looking around at this world that they've made, and it's just amazing. It's just absolutely, positively beautiful. And even the destruction is crafted so gorgeously. Like, this place is totally destroyed, and here's a sunset. It's great. Like I don't, but I just need more. I just need more area. Like I want to get lost. I want to go somewhere where I have to explore to a place where I might be totally screwed if I went that far. Like I want there to be places where I explore where if they know that I'm there, I'm screwed. Kind of like in the Gorgon's maze. They don't know you're there, and you can just walk through, but they find out you're there, and then no matter what happens, you're just dead. That's exciting.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. I when you're leveling up from an early level, you get that sense of things. Like I remember back when I was running around the beta, like there is that magical tunnel that connects the Fallen Shore to the inside of the Devil's Lair strike there, that just had all the ridiculously hard enemies, and it was fun to just try to make it through there, just to the other side if you could, to find out where it connected to the first time. And I really do wish there were areas in like the patrols and things that were more or less off limits, because you could run in like briefly and maybe get back out, but otherwise you're going to die. I remember like RPGs and things from when I was young, that there were the areas you just couldn't get into, and you might want to just run in to get that chest that's in that area and try to get back out alive and see if you make it with the sweet new gear.
Right, absolutely. And
you know
if
what?
you didn't,
what one of my favorite parts on the same topic that I love about Destiny is there's no map. Like, you know, a whole lot of other games in this type of genre, you might hit your options or whatever and find the map, and there's no map in Destiny. You have to map it all out in your head, and you have to remember where everything is. And I just felt it was so much like a tribute to old school games, and I love that about Destiny.
Agreed. Agreed 100%. And then after a while, you began to just know where everything was. You could have someone say you need to be here, and you would know where to go. You know what? This is something I'd like to see. I'd like to see a way for them to interact with us on a, like, say you're patrolling on Venus, and they say get to the Citadel. Or like there's like something comes over your comms that says there's something going down in the Citadel right now, and if you don't know where it is, then you don't get there. If you do know where it is, you get there in time to get that. Like, this would be rewarding people for either A, knowing how to get there because they've done it a million times, or B, being resourceful enough to look it up, and get it done. I think that's an exciting way to look at it. But yeah, so anyone else on this topic? Moving on.
Moving on. One thing I did say last week too is I'd really also like to see new public events. Like, aside from like the Blades of Crota that popped up, like we've had the same exact public event since Destiny launched, and that's a big part of something that keeps patrols interesting. So I would like to see a new variety of those, even if they got rid of a bunch of the old ones. I'd love to see those on like a rotating cycle of different interesting ones that just aren't always there or something like that.
We actually have fewer than we did to begin with, right? They took out that one with the 3 fallen walkers. Was there another one that they took out, or was that the only one?
You mean the
I can't
pikes?
think of anything offhand.
They didn't take out the pikes though, did they?
What fallen walkers do you mean?
There was a bounty in the very beginning where you would have to destroy 3 fallen walkers, and that was the bounty. Like, you got it from the Vanguard.
Oh no, that was the Queen's Wrath.
Oh, was that the Queen's Wrath?
Yeah, that was
That was the Queen's Wrath.
Oh, well then never mind.
And that really awesome one where you had to get 100 precision kills with fallen enemies.
Oh yeah, no, it was 200, wasn't it?
Oh,
200 kills.
It was something.
Ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Ridiculously long. You know what I'd like to see? It'd actually be like a new patrol that was like King of the Hill. You go to a specific area, and instead of like just standing in there watching a battle, like you have hordes of enemies coming at you. Like
a
that'd be a lot of
Warsat or
fun.
something?
Kind of like the Warsat, but more like just onslaught, I guess. I mean, the Warsat is exactly what I'm talking about, but I don't know, just maybe a little bit more intense might be a little bit more fun. But
I think that type of thing would be nice if there was also like if events were planet-wide, so you could, like you said, go to the Citadel for this event, and you get there, and because it's a planet-wide thing, there's 15 other people in that one area, and you've got to fight a really massive wave.
That sounds awesome. That sounds
or
really awesome.
It all
just
sounds
like a
awesome.
bigger world boss than just the Fallen Walker, because you get 2 level 30s and that thing's down super fast. Something that
need to.
that's true, but just something that's maybe a little bit bigger. Not, I mean, the VIP missions, kill this guy before he gets to all of the checkpoints is nice, but maybe like a new type of walker, but make it like the Cabal Goliath tank. Something like that would be fun.
I agree. Moving on.
Moving on. So, for any questions on all these world changes that will come to be, they direct Guardians to one of their forum threads and also to their Twitter account to get up-to-date information on these changes that are coming.
Excellent.
For one of the changes that we know is going to be coming up, they bring in matchmaking engineer Damian Frank, and to talk about a solution that they're calling connection recovery. If you encounter the most common kinds of networking problems and lose your connection to the game you're playing, connection recovery will leap into action and attempt to reconnect you. It won't always work because the underlying network problem may be too severe, but it gives you a fighting chance at rejoining the server you were playing on. If it's successful, you'll keep your progress and your fire team. When you encounter a recoverable error, your screen will fade to black, as it always has. A message will inform you that you're attempting to reconnect and tell you what kind of error you've encountered. For a short time, you will either be respawned in the game. After a short time, you will either be respawned in the game or you will return to orbit. For now, connection recovery is going to be limited to the new Trials of Osiris event. They know connections are going to be especially frustrating there, and once they have a better feel of how it's going to perform in the real world, they plan to add it to almost all activities. This is exciting, especially, I know this was a huge concern for a lot of people with the Trials of Osiris event, being that if, at least if your whole team disconnects, it's a loss.
Yeah.
If you quit out. So unintentional disconnection could definitely negatively affect your day and your Trials of Osiris scorecard.
Right. At least with like a Nightfall, if you were running it with other people, you could rejoin their party. And this was a huge question that people were having, because there are some periods of time where you get a weasel, or you get some cattle. And if that counts as a loss, then, I'm not going to want to play. I'm not going to want to play. So yeah, reconnecting me with that group it's because those people aren't going to be happy about my getting dropped either. That's 3 people that are going to be pissed off just for one game. I suppose the other team would be pretty stoked, though. That guy just dematerialized. Let's get him. Have you been following this Trials of Osiris, old man?
No, not at all. It's going to be the whole thing's going to be, what are you talking about?
Okay, so then here's the question. Do you want to know about these new game modes that are coming out?
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about it as I was trying to answer the question. And I don't know, maybe it'd be better to have it all as a complete surprise.
Right. You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Because I know that the downloadable content coming next week has something to do with wolves.
And just a little something.
And since this game, I guess I'll be shooting them. I don't know, but
you know what? I bet you're right.
The update's actually turning into Cabela's like old world hunter.
Yeah,
that's funny. So okay then. Well, then we'll just leave it at that, unless you have questions that require answering. So what do you think about this, Crimson Warlock?
About what exactly?
Who knows? No, we were discussing. Yeah, the recovery.
Oh, the recovery I think is awesome. I've never really been kicked from a PvP match, but it's good to see it. Good to see that it's happening, and as soon as they're able to make it game wide, it'll be so much better. But yeah, it's a good step in the right direction. I'm excited to see it, and hopefully it helps a lot of people enjoy Destiny even more.
That's what I was curious to know about, was if this is even something that's bothered you, because I know that I will go insane stretches of time without being booted to orbit, and it always makes me curious about why now. Instead of, overall my connection kind of sucks, I get booted once a day. I'll go a week without getting booted, and then 3 times in one day. So yeah, I don't know. Excited about this, but Jez, is this something that you have a problem with in Nova Scotia?
Not really. I don't think. There's once in a while, it is like a super bad day, and it seems to kick me over and over again, and I don't know why. But lately, it's been pretty solid. Although, also past couple days, it's been all red barring, and I have no idea why.
Interesting. What about you, Agrios?
I'm excited for it for Trials in particular. I mean, every little bit's gonna matter there. So I'm I'm excited they have this going. I haven't had too many problems myself personally, so this probably won't affect me too much in general. But I definitely had the problem with people I'm with getting kicked out of my party and the party, suffering because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited for this to be implemented game-wide.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it could only help gameplay.
Right. I'm excited that they're working on these things instead of focusing solely on the beforehand, maybe make our servers a little bit better. This I think will help also hold in that back end. Like if you are suffering from these problems, you will be able to get reconnected. That's a really exciting thing to think about. And I don't know. I say this often, but I wish I could have been there for that conversation. Hey, we need to brainstorm on this. Like, how did they solve that? What steps did they take? I mean, I'm certain a bunch of it would be over my head, but it would be interesting. Moving on.
Moving on. They've also noted that they are expanding their digital upgrade program to include expansion 2. So if you purchase it for your last gen console or have already purchased it for your last gen console, it will of course upgrade to next gen for you as well. So that program still works for all of the expansions, just not the base game that ended back in January.
Wait. So the base game is no longer transferring over, unless it already has been transferred over.
Correct. You had to redeem your PlayStation. You had to redeem your next gen version by January 15th, 2015.
Got it. What's funny about that is that's not actually the case, because I bought, and I was worried about this because I knew that I wasn't going to get an Xbox One by that date, but I had originally bought it as a digital download on Xbox 360. And then I was just hoping that it would just be there because it's part of my purchase history, and then the purchase history is listed also on the Xbox One. I was hoping that it would just transfer over, and it totally did. Like, I didn't have any problems at all.
And you didn't go online and purchase the Xbox One version from the online website back a long time ago when I told you to?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I was just hoping. I was just hoping that it was going to work out best for me because
I know back before the date, I was reminding all my friends to go, even if you don't own the next gen system yet, to go online and go to the online store and purchase the next gen version.
Totally. What I ended up doing was I purchased I gave $60 to GameStop, and then GameStop gave me a $60 card or $60 on the Xbox. And I was really pissed off about that because what I thought I was buying was not some middleman transaction, but an actual code for the game. And that's what made it sting for me, is I wasn't going to be able to go and buy it again through one of those authorized retailers because I had already paid those dollars for it. But it turned out everything's okay, and it's really good to hear that this next expansion is going to be the same way. I'm basically running 3 copies of Destiny on one copy because I download it on my B Xbox first, and then that binds it to that Xbox, and then because it's also binds to my gamer tag, I can use it on a separate Xbox. That's how me and Trevor play. It's just one digital copy that's being split 2 ways, and then the third way because it goes to my Xbox One as well. So very cool to know that this is how this works because it's all just going to work well. Very excited about this. Anybody else doing the digital thing, or you guys got all physical copies, or what?
I went physical.
I have the digital version myself.
Both of you have the physical version?
Yeah, I actually won my digital version from Guardian Radio.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I redeemed it on PS3 and then used the upgrade to put it on my PS4 so I could play with friends on both consoles.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That's way awesome. What about you, Jez?
Mine is the digital version. I just wasn't that close to a store to be able to pick up a physical copy on release day, so I figured it was probably the quickest way for me to play.
You're a smart man, Jez. What about you, Pa?
You know I have the physical copy.
Nobody listening does, though.
Oh. Yes.
So you're unfortunately, once you upgrade to Xbox One, you'll have to buy Destiny again.
It looks that way. Yeah, I keep seeing the commercials for the dragon guy with the bow and arrow, and he's shooting fire out of his arm.
What are you talking about?
This is for Xbox One.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's some kind of dragon killer type game.
Oh, like Dragon Age or something like this?
So I don't know, but this guy is it reminds me of in oh god, what's
Skyrim?
Yeah, with the fire coming out of the guy's arm, except this is a lot better.
Oh, is it Witcher?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's you kill dragons.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, so one of these days, one of these games is going to pull me over.
I don't know what that means.
It's going to pull me over to Xbox One.
Ah.
To the next gen, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, all of that wait time that just drives you crazy when you're trying to switch weapons in the middle of a mission, that is pretty much mostly gone.
That just makes you a more seasoned guardian. You have to, if you decide you want to change your weapon, you have to find your place quite well, like, down the street, a few blocks over, and then you might have enough time. God, it's so infuriating. It really is.
Yeah. And you know what? And it really seems to get worse in the most important parts. Like I've noticed like I'll be out for a nice patrol and I'll think, do I want to switch my weapon? No, I don't, but I really have to. And I'll pull up the menu and it will just show everything. And I'll think, well, I don't know why I was so bummed about this. But the end of Crota and I'm trying to pull out my Yellerhorn. And it's like, all right, well, I guess good luck, you guys.
Time is relative.
Yeah.
And and the older you get, the faster it goes, something like that.
K-Dub says Destiny 2 equals old man on next gen, and that's going to be the case. Like I think that what it will be is it will be Destiny. Like or what it will be is that they are no longer going to support the 360, and so you'll just be playing by yourself.
Those bastards better not. Yeah, those bastards better not do that. I have enough trouble getting people rounded up for strikes now.
Yeah.
I want to play this strike. Nobody else does.
Right. You know what? You should join the group. You should join the group and find some friends. Or there's a really great group that I'm actually also part of called the Ancient Warriors. And they're just a bunch of old guys who really enjoy playing video games in a mutually respectful environment. And I think that you could probably muster that,
You mean being an old guy?
Well, being respectful, mutually respectful. Yes. So I don't know. Moving on.
So something I want to bring up, it's a little bit off topic. Well, it's not entirely off topic. I saw Biohazard 99 in comments in the stream here mention that he wanted to see ghost shells. And we have a slot to hold a whole bunch of ghost shells. The only ghost shell in the game that is allowed to be there so far, though, that we know of, is the one that came exclusive with the limited edition. Do you think that we were intended to have ghost shells already? That maybe when we found the dead ghosts, we would have gotten their shell, and that perhaps this was cut content because of space on last gen?
No, I don't think it's a space issue. I think it's more than likely it's something that's been put at the end of the list. Like they talk about things that they'd like to do, and they talk about things that they should do. I think that the idea is, and they even actually said this before it came out, was these limited editions were meant to be limited in every sense of the word. And with that, if you wanted to, you could purchase this upgraded version that had this very special thing. And I think that if there was other ghost shells out there, a lot of people wouldn't even be using their special ghost shell. I use the red one because it's the only one that's other than gray.
So why do you think there's so many slots? Why do we have such a big space in the UI for it? I feel like if they hadn't already had all of the limited edition materials already generated and marketing materials advertising the exclusive Ghost Shell, that perhaps we wouldn't even have that portion of the UI there.
Well, I think that they're going to have ghost shells. I think that this is just a future expansion thing. You know, like when Destiny starts to become stale, throw something cool in here, like a new ghost shell, or, you know, and on top of that, I am extremely excited that they haven't thrown in ghost shells, just because my inventory, my vault is already just stacked. You know, like all of my shaders are stacked, all of my ships are stacked, all of my marks are stacked. Like
I saying that 3 times.
I couldn't.
See, I feel like I would have liked to have coordinated my ghost with my outfits and had a custom ghost for whatever particular situation or that I thought suited my class for these past hundreds of hours that I put in the game. It seems to me like that's something that could have enriched all of those hours and that entire experience, and that if they could have, it would have been provided there. It seems odd to me to dedicate that much time to it and then never mention another word about it.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of that in the future. I think that there's.
I think I would definitely agree with Agrios that it's probably a space thing, and you know we're told that they can't add more things to our vaults because of space issues with last gen, and you know why. While it would be nice, like another cosmetic item is just really wasted space when they need to pack as much content into Destiny as possible.
Jez?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the reason why there's so many spaces available to you is just because it would look odd if it only had 2 spots. Even weirder is the 3 slots for subclasses, but that's another topic.
I agree.
That's another Destiny mystery, right?
Absolutely. What do you think, Pa? Ghost shells, does this mean anything to you? Would you collect them? Would you use them?
If they give me shards, I'll do anything for shards. Oh, man.
Okay, so for everyone listening, this last week was the first time that I took my dad to the Gorgon's chests, and it was funny because I called him up and I said, "Do you want some chests?" And he said, "Chests?" And I said, "Yeah, chests." And he said, "Chests?" and so I just had him follow me. And you know what it was? Is he met me in the Divide. He met me in the Divide. I was waiting for a public event, and we hit the public event, and he joined, and he got a shard from it. He got an Ascendant shard, and he said, "Awesome! I got a shard." And I said, "If you're happy about that shard, Paul, then you're about to be a very happy man." How many shards did you walk away between all 3 of your characters?
10, 13, 14, something like that. No.
Right, and to someone starving for shards, this was like...
Oh, yeah, well, I was able to level some things out.
So, yeah. So, it's...
But I still need more.
Right, and come next Tuesday, we will be able to get those same chests again. And we'll also get you Oversoul Edict, which is really important to have. This week would have been great to have. Actually, I think we have one. We could run 2 more of your characters. Oh no, 1 more of your character through that beginning, and you might get it. So if you have a chance and you want to play, I'll run you through that first part. I won't get anything, but that's what helping Guardians is all about. I want you to have that Oversoul Edict because I think it's going to raise your game up.
Then just give it to me.
I wish I could.
That's one of the game's cooperative, but you can't swap shit. That's kind of, to me, that's kind of a. I guess that would be kind of a nightmare logistically.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, logistically, and then you have people who are using the game for actual,
monetary gain,
right? Because like I told you, I'll pay $50 for that Mythoclast. I just want it. Do you know, like think about it. My time, I can sit in that Vault of Glass for 50 games and never get it like Bife, or I could pay $50 and not have to worry about that.
Yeah, really.
Enjoy my time there.
You
So
got to be careful. You got to be careful.
right, absolutely. So this was his first time with those chests, and I have a hard time finding people on the 360 who want to go through those raids. So it's not like I've been able to. It's not like I've gone through a bunch of these raids. I'd really like to have you along because it's really the most interesting content in Destiny as far as
I'm starting to fall back into it. It seems like the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to play more, but the Xbox Live was just really screwed up, and went for like 3 or 4 days. And then when I finally got back on, I was so glad to have it back on. I started playing Destiny like crazy. I'm starting to get back into it, and I'm sure this. I'm going to get quite a boost from this new content coming out. That'll carry me through the next month at least.
right. All of the vendors are going to have new stuff. All of the gear looks really
Yeah.
cool. Bungie held several live streams on Twitch the last couple of weeks, and these shows have been going for like 2 hours. Our show hasn't gone for like it was like I had to cut the theme song out at the end of last week's show because it was right at 159, like 34 or something, and the theme song's 44 seconds long. I just cut the whole thing out. But yeah, so definitely not as much news this week, and I don't know. Where were we at, Grios?
Well, while we're talking about the Gorgon's chest, I always offer this in our live stream chat here, but I wanted to make note of it for our listeners too. We always keep the Gorgon checkpoint chests on our characters, and if anybody at any point would like to get these chests, just send me a message on PSN. Disgustapated, DISGUSTA. Wait, yeah, let me do that again. DISGUSTAPATED. Disgustapated. Just send me a message, and I'll get you in to get you your hard mode Gorgon chests.
What a very important thing that you offer. And I don't know. This last week I lost it again. I lost the chest because the Xbox 360 just takes forever to load up Destiny, and so I lost it. And I was like, no, this is horrible. This horrible sucks. And I just kept getting trolls. Like I went to those LFG sites, and there's people that were like, oh, handing out the Gorgon chest. For the next half hour, and I would write them a message, and then they just would never stop playing Call of Duty. So I was being trolled, right? Like they were like, haha, like this person took time out of their day to waste my time. But finally I did find somebody who was willing to share it, and I retrieved it. So it was, I don't know, it sucks losing that chest, and just, I don't know, I'm addicted to having those materials just dropped right into my lap. And there's also a chance for exotics in there, Pa. Like you could be getting anything that the game drops that's not specific.
It is quite addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like like the game on Next Generation that Wesley brought on board. I think it was something like that. I remember that, and they'd look into it, and they'd all get spacey.
Wait, what happened?
On Star Trek: Next Generation. Wesley, or no, actually, it wasn't Wesley that brought it on board. It was one of the later season episodes. Wesley's visiting the Enterprise from Starfleet University, whatever, and there's this game that they put it on. It's like a pair of glasses. You never see that episode?
You're trying to get a floating disc into a tube. Like,
yeah,
that's what the game is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It hypnotizes the crew.
Yeah, that's what Destiny is. That's exactly what it is. Because like I said, I got a love-hate relationship with this game because the gameplay is just so flawlessly intuitive. When you're driving around, when you're shooting, when it's just you're jumping and everything. It's just really, it's just very well designed. Um, um, and then, but then it just seems like I'm doing the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know. Um, but actually, once you get used to that, that's the if you could just do the same thing over and over and over again. But
So okay, so I feel for people like you, Pa, because like you are a gamer in the sense that you have time that you could just sit down in front of you and you're not changing diapers or worried about feeding somebody. You know,
listen
like
to this.
so like for me, Destiny it rarely gets old because I just don't have that much time in front of me. And
Oh,
so like I can't even imagine what it would be like to
oh.
be someone like you where okay, well I've done everything that I can do in this and
Well,
I
like I
still
said, the
want to
first
play more, but I'm
yeah.
not going to play this.
Well, that's the thing. When I try to play something else, I don't want to. I want to play this. Like I said, it's horrible.
Okay, so this has actually come up on the show before and my advice
Addiction.
was counseling. My advice was counseling. No, it was because I felt this same way. Like I would start to play something else, and then I would think, "Man, what am I doing? I just really need to play Destiny. I just have to play Destiny." And so the way that you know that everything is cool is when while you're playing this other game, you don't want to play Destiny. So until you find that game that in the back of your head is not sitting this little person saying,
Okay.
"It's
Yeah,
time to do bounties."
I'm thinking the next Dead Island is supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be a full blown Dead Island instead of that escape crap that they peddled.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm pretty psyched about it. It looks good.
and Mass Effect 4, is that coming out, or am I or Dead Space
Oh
4, or
yeah, I've heard
all
rumors
sorts
about
of
both of
different.
those,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I've not really looked into them because I don't like until they're trying to sell it to me at the counter, I don't want to look any further than
Well,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
those two are quite far in the future. Like, they haven't even shown gameplay of either.
Good.
Um, yeah, there was a big thing going around in our clan where just after the alpha and the beta, everyone's like, "Oh, Destiny's killed every other game because you don't want to play anything else."
Hmm.
Right? Oh, I totally remember that. I remember that in the lull between having access to Destiny and waiting for it to release, it was like okay, here I am with the controller in my hand. I guess I'll go do something else.
Can I play the beta? Can't I play the beta some more? No. Well, what the hell? That's the
Right?
thing. That's the first beta I'd been involved in, and it was like I was pissed off when they took it away.
Yeah, you were. That's funny. That's way funny. Um, okay, so I wanted to mention this. This is something I've been thinking about. Basically every single day since it happened. And I don't remember if I told this story last week on the show. So if I did, sorry about it. But this is how important it was to me, and my thinking. This has changed my thinking so much. So it was. I was raiding with Strider and Mark from Guardian Radio, and who else was there? Agrios and Sharks and K-Dub, right? Yeah, that was the list. Um, and Mark gets this bone circlet. It's a warlock's bond, so he starts to apply it in the middle of this combat zone, and he's starting to get attacked. And he's like, "Oh, bone circlet! Look at this." And then Strider says, "Bone circlet is ready." And I just about pissed my pants because it's just like it opened that fold in my brain where the first Spider-Man sits with Tobey Maguire, from when Macho Man Randy Savage was Bonesaw, and it was just so good. It was just so good and so out of nowhere. And Strider has a thick accent, and I didn't know it was him that said it at the time because it just dropped. He became Macho Man, for the extent the period of time where he was saying that, whatever that means. But it was just so funny. It's so funny that I've been saying it around the house, and I've been spreading this story far and wide because I don't know. That's funny to me. Like to be able to put those two things together, and I don't know. Good one on you, Strider, because that was so funny. That was so funny to me. Anyways, I
Yeah, but
wanted
you're also changing diapers all the time.
right.
So your idea of what might be funny might be a little different.
Well, I don't know.
In Crota, especially that point where you're just chopping wood, killing all those hive that are just hanging around.
Yeah.
It's very insanity inducing.
Right, right. There's a ton of guys there. Um. Okay, so we are just about at the end of the show. Okay, Agrios, do you have anything else that is not that leak? Mute button. Oh, we lost Agrios. I bet he went to hit the. I bet he went to hit the mute button and instead hit the "see you guys later" button. Yeah, he says disconnected. Okay, so basically, what I think what we have left is this leak, this leak from the patch notes, and I don't know. I thought we might get to them if we were short on stuff to talk about, but this is the end of the show. The show is really supposed to be 1 hour long. It's not supposed to be 2 hours long. So I did want to share this one last thing that was not the leak. It was something that Planet Destiny brought to my attention. It was Deej posting on the Bungie forums, and he says this. He says, as we monitor the conversation that happens on Bungie.net, we notice recurring themes. The list that follows is a reflection of what the players of Destiny have unanimously wished for on many occasions. Please note that this doesn't represent our to-do list at Bungie. While we can't promise that every idea is being worked on, we do want to confirm that you've been heard. Our goal is to include you in our process whenever we can. If you'd like to see new items placed on this list, start a new topic on the feedback board. Popular opinions matter. Topics that trend on this forum are more powerful than comments on this post. And he goes on to list, here are the most frequent community wishes for Destiny. Number 1 being transmogrification. Number 2 being private crucible matches. Number 3 is gun skins. Number 4 is guardian facial hair. Number 5 is vault sorting options. Number 6 is crucible map voting. Number 7 is expanding faction interaction. And number 8 is aim assist toggle option. I know a lot of people have been talking about that, being able to toggle that off. But this is just to get you started. We'll update this list once a week as part of the audit we produce to share with the Bungie team. I thought this was really, really exciting, and good job to Planet Destiny for pointing this out. But this list pretty much sums up what the majority of people want. I mean, that isn't just straight up more content. Let's see, Crimson Warlock, is there anything on this list that you would just put a star by and have them do right now? Mute button, maybe? No Crimson Warlock.
I'm here. I'm here. Sorry, yeah, I was muted. They have done a pretty good job, I think, with House of Wolves of not exactly doing transmog, but bringing those items that we want back into the game. Bringing those armor sets and the looks. And so I'd put a check by that in a way. I mean, it's not full transmog, obviously, but it is nice to have. Honestly, vault sorting, I don't really see why that's an issue, but I don't have all the exotics yet, and so I don't know. Like, to me, I think the way that the vault's laid out is just fine. But as for like something top priority that I want now, not really off of that list. Like, none of it's a pressing concern for me, but it is also nice to see it get updated and things get checked off and whatnot. So you know that they're working on it, that they're hearing the community and pressing forward.
Right, at least that they are listening. Like,
Exactly.
this is what they need to do, because I bet just by posting this one post that probably the amount of people posting about, hey, I want this, had to nosedive significantly once they posted this. I mean, to know that Bungie is listening, they know you want private Crucible matches. They know that gun skins are something that would be excellent to have. I mean, they even put Guardian facial hair, and this is a legitimate concern that people have talked about since before the game came out. People wanted beards. People wanted beards way bad. There was like this whole movement, Paw, that was like beard till destiny.
You gotta love the beards.
Well, yours is pretty amazing.
It's getting somewhere.
The worst part is that there are beards in the game. Guardians just aren't allowed to have them.
Oh yeah?
Really?
Well, yeah, there's beards in the game. The Dead Orbit guy has a beard.
Oh, he does have a beard.
Yeah.
I always thought it was his douchey hair that made him look weird, but you're right, he does have a beard.
Let's go mug him, take all his stuff.
Dead Orbit's got some cool stuff. I'm really liking Dead Orbit, except for this Broken Truth. Anybody else get a Broken Truth without Field Scout? 3 shots. I can't do it. I can't do a 3-shot sniper rifle. Any of you guys have this Broken Truth?
Well, if you have last round, 3-shot sniper rifle is not bad.
I don't think it does have last round.
I
Right,
don't
that
count
would
that.
be cool. That would be cool. The 3rd shot is super powerful. That would be awesome. Any of you other guys got it?
I've gotten it a
Yeah.
few times. I had one with Field Scout, but honestly, I like the Black Hammer over that one, and it's only got 3 shots in it too,
How-
but it's pretty strong.
The Iron Banner Emperor Spear also only has 3 shots without Field Scout.
Is there a
Well,
count on
You
how
can
many
have
different
Field Scout.
weapons there are?
That's a really good question. I'm certain that there is a count. You're talking about every
many?
single weapon, right?
Yes. How many? It has to
Okay.
be quite a few.
Right, and the fact that there's certain models like the Payback SOS, for example, you could have really a large number of variants just within that one. So are you talking about how many each one of those could be? Like
Well,
that one's got
yeah, maybe
27
not.
different combinations.
No, maybe not. We don't want to get up into the thousands here. Good God.
I think that those that they all drop at a certain. I mean, Agrios, is there a way to get those ones in the middle column on the either side of the special slots? Because I think I've noticed a lot of times that the ones that are solo are different than the ones that sit up and down in those choices that you have to make. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the two primary ability slots on weapons have their own unique, like a certain number of things can roll in slot 1, a certain number of things can roll in slot 2, and then those 3 hidden abilities are unique to the hidden ability column.
Got it.
If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's absolutely what I was talking about.
Another thing about Destiny that I'd like to point out: this is the most complicated, simplest game ever. Because what do you
Agreed.
do? What do you do? You go around and you shoot stuff.
Right.
That's
Right.
it. That is exact. You don't do it. Really, don't do anything else. Everything else is just to get you someplace where you can shoot stuff. And,
Absolutely.
But it's like layer upon layer upon layer, which I guess is the reason they keep coming back. I don't know.
Right. I feel like it's set up to the point to where if you didn't want to worry about weapons and armor, you really don't have to worry about weapons and armor.
Yeah.
If you want to take that next level, like Agrios is one of these people who even takes it to the level above me, where he has loadouts that favor intellect or loadouts that favor strength or discipline, whatever it is he's actually trying to do. I have yet to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't even think about that at all.
Like I will take note of what it has, but I
Yeah.
don't. It's not a game changer. It's not
It's
a
like
game
it's like there's so much going on in the game. It's like the Crucible. I never go there. I just don't like getting everybody shooting my ass. But not going there doesn't diminish the game at all.
yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely,
which is
and-
a very good thing.
And there's some people who feel the exact opposite. Like the Crucible is the reason to play the game.
Well, there you go. More power to them.
Right, absolutely. And I think that the Bungie is doing a really good job holding up everything.
Yeah.
and I think that you might find, as I have found, because I'm not a huge PvPer. I would love to. I would love to hone my skills to the point to where I would be super competitive. But there's a sloping. They've sloped the floor on Crucible. So like there's a daily Crucible match on the left-hand side of the director, and there will now be a package given out for the first game you play in that playlist of the day. And that's going to make me want to play just that one game on that one character, so I can get that package. Because I would already be playing 300% more Crucible than I had before. I'm just that much more likely to play more. What is 2 games? What is 3 games?
I don't know. I just don't have the patience. I just want to go around and shoot stuff. So I don't have the patience to really get good in the Crucible. If I were good at it, I'd probably have a grand old time there.
Yeah. You know what it is, and this is really the turning point for when Destiny becomes something from a game to more than a game, is when you have friends to play it with.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing it by yourself, it is a different game than when you're playing it with me. It becomes this social place to hang out. So you're either hanging out and you're turning in bounties, or you're out just shooting things, like you're saying. Like everything in the game funnels you to go shoot more things.
I think if you got him in there like 6-man Wolfpack style and started mowing over some teams, and he's running behind the good people in the group, like it won't take him long to start enjoying himself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. As long as I'm not dying, yeah.
And so it becomes something where you absolutely need to play with other people.
You need community.
Yeah, well, you need communication, because you can say, well, this guy just took me out. He's hiding behind this box. Do you know what that does to the group of people? Like, then they know where that guy is. If you weren't communicating with them as in a pickup group, it's just, okay, well, you're just watching this guy shotgun people as they come running around this corner willy-nilly. So that's definitely... I'm really excited about PvP going into this. Like we've been talking about each of the different things that are being released in this House of Wolves leading up to this, and it's interesting because PvP really has my attention, and I really don't care about PvP. I want to. I don't. I'm
sure that between the initial release, the first downloadable, and this downloadable, they've learned since the last downloadable different things that will improve this downloadable, right?
Absolutely.
You'd think so.
Absolutely. Everything leans on everything else.
Yeah.
That's
what makes the whole game so amazing. It's like it's nothing that's ever been done before. And I don't know how other games they're gonna keep from just flat out imitating it.
Yeah. It's like Bungie has taken everything that they've learned from every game they've made and have finally honed it into this experience that's boiled down shooting things.
Yep.
By the way, I did a little bit of math to figure out when you asked how many guns are in Destiny.
Oh no.
This is a very rough number because it's including some of the stuff that was data mined from the DLC a long time ago, and it's also a couple doubles. But if you're counting all the weapons, it's about 549. But if you're just talking legendary and up, it's about 214. Now it's somewhere less than that, so probably around I'd say like 175, but that's a lot.
Even at a tenth of that, it would have been. It's just an unbelievable amount, Yeah.
Right.
Somebody, you got to sit down. You have to come up with another auto rifle. God damn it! This is my 17th one.
Let's make this one a bullet hose.
Yeah.
Did you keep your shadow price, Pa?
Yeah. I don't know.
I've got a shadow price, and I cannot wait to upgrade it.
So the shadow price was one that you pointed out to me that was your favorite a long time ago, and you got a really good roll. And with this House of Wolves, you'll be able to take any 300 weapon and pull it to 365.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, I still got it. I don't get rid of my. I might get rid of armors. I don't get rid of weapons, especially when they start getting purple.
Right. I agree. So is there anything else anybody wanted to go over about Destiny before we wrap this up?
Oh yeah, I got more to talk about.
Oh, hit it.
You thought you were going away, didn't you?
Right. Right, time to play Destiny.
We still have more of the update yet to go over.
All right, let's do it.
They also, we just got through the meat of talking about the House of Wolves and the new items and the actual gameplay. Now we have some other stuff on the periphery here. They brought in Bungie Foundation manager Christine Edwards again, and the Guardians the Guardians have done just wonders in aiding Nepal. It has exceeded all their wildest expectations. Together, we've all been able to raise $750,000 to provide much-needed medical supplies and support to those affected by the earthquake. 100% of the profits generated by this fundraising drive will be donated to the efforts of direct relief in Nepal. Activision has also taken notice, and they pledged an additional $50,000 to duplicate Bungie's donation matching that they mentioned in the update last week. You can still participate in this and get one of the awesome shirts, emblems, and shaders, as well as helping out some people that really need it. Sunday, May 24th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time will be when the cutoff to get your shirt is, and those are available straight through the Bungie store.
Very cool. Very cool.
I just stepped away for a second. What's this about shirt?
The Bungie's offering special Nepal Guardian T-shirts, and all the profits from the T-shirts themselves are going to aid the earthquake victims in Nepal.
Oh, cool!
And it's a really awesome shirt to boot. Personally, it's my favorite official Destiny T-shirt to date, just in its own right, and it's going to help a good cause. So far, we've raised $750,000 total.
Oh.
In addition to the shirt, you also get a special shader and also a special emblem. Was it for $25? You said.
Plus shipping and handling. If you're in the U.S., it's about $30 a shirt when it's said and done.
Oh,
and they have children's, women's, and men's sizes. So no matter who you are, you can get a shirt that'll actually fit you.
I'm not going to say anything about old man sizes.
Good. I think that you've betrayed yourself, Paul. I think you said that out loud.
Oh, wait a minute. Is my mute on?
Moving on.
Moving on. So that pretty much wraps up the update and most of the news I have. We have the movie of the week at the end of the update, as always. This week it is called Void Jam, and it's some antics of a space wizard, a space warlock, to some classical music.
It looked really good.
Quick note: that music was better suited to a Striker Titan. Just gonna say it.
Was that you who said that? I remembered seeing that. That guy. I wanted to note this because I watched that, and it was cool. Two things. Number one, that guy made the Lance option of the Nova Bomb look like the only choice. Like after watching this limp Nova Bomb just go, watching that Lance, it almost goes up. It almost curves up. Like I imagine that's just the way it looked in the video, but I don't know.
Well, he could also have that option that seeks.
Oh, that would explain the curve. Man, it makes me want to go play some Voidwalker right now. And that's actually where my my Thorn bounty is. So that's going to be awesome. And also, his video makes the case for continued realization of what's going on around you, because most of those kills were like 3, 4, 5 people rallying around the heavy ammo, in the Crucible, like he got so many shots on people just standing around waiting for heavy ammo. Like that's someone you need on your team, the guy who's going to go over to the other ammo box and take out as many of those dudes as possible. It was really exciting in the fact that now I'm going to be totally aware,
Yeah, when it starts counting down and you see someone not huddling around your ammo box, that's what he's trying to do.
right. Right, and that was really cool. Did you see that, Warlock?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought that movie was just awesome. It was a lot of fun, and I'm like, yep, I gotta start using Lance in PvP now.
Right, it looks so
Scatter.
good.
I've been using Scatter, and I've been able to get a good couple of hits on people. But yeah, after watching that, I'm like, nope, I need to
I'm a
switch.
big scatter fan.
Have you
I
been
like scatter effect.
Have you been using the tips that we told you about a while ago?
Been practicing, yeah. It's been helpful. I'm
Righty
still
tighty,
no
lefty
master at
loosey.
it, but yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun with the righty tighty lefty loosey. I've been managed to throw all 3 of my shatter bombs through a tight doorway, as well as one to the left, one to the right, and one straight ahead.
That's awesome. That's way awesome. I haven't tried that yet, but that's because I'm trying to run 6 characters. Like I've been going so crazy the last couple of weeks with grinding out bounties and raising every single one of my factions, including 2 of the Cryptarch on each system, are just edged right to the very edge. Like as soon as House of Wolves drops, it's going to be like the most amazing Christmas.
Well, if you have mail slots, you don't have to edge the Cryptarch.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, totally. But by keeping them edged there and giving only one person all of those packages, his meter's going around a lot faster than if I was to divvy out all of the engrams to each of the other characters. Like as soon as I found out that the Cryptarch packages were something that you could save there, I decided to just keep going with it. I had just been saving up on engrams. But so yeah, I'm only doing it on my hunter because he has the least amount of armor, those armor materials that you get for breaking it down. So that's where I am. I've just been going crazy playing, like just trying to get everything as edged as possible. And I only failed twice. I only let it go over because I wasn't paying attention to where the number was twice. And it was on my hunter, it was on my Titan both times, and on both times it was New Monarchy. So
I really hadn't considered that, but you're playing both Xbox and PlayStation.
Yep.
Or no, Xbox One, aren't you?
Yeah.
So don't you have 9 characters?
Well, the Xbox 360 characters are the ones that I use on the Xbox One. So when you get an Xbox, yeah. So once you get an Xbox One, those will be the characters, and it just transfers right over. I will play with you.
Really? I won't have to do anything to it?
Oh no, not at all.
You literally do
Xbox
nothing.
One time.
What was that, old man?
I was just telling your mother it was Xbox One time.
Yeah, totally. I will be playing with you on the Xbox One or on the Xbox 360, and then later on in the evening, Tanner will be like on the Xbox One, and I will just play on that, and it will be as if I will have all of the same checkpoints, like on everything. It's exactly the same game. Just the graphics are insanely better.
Yeah, that's another aspect about Destiny that I find interesting is you don't really save the game.
Yeah.
You just play it. And once something's done, it's done.
That is good, especially because the game does sometimes like to drop you back to orbit. Just knowing that I didn't have to save anything, and it's not if anything happens to my data, it's not my fault. It's somebody else's fault somewhere else. So that's good times.
So going back to the movie of the week, keep a lookout for my next video of Hunter blade dancing to Ice Ice Baby. I said that in a chat earlier, and without missing a beat, someone said "Slice, Slice, Baby."
Nice.
I thought it was perfect.
You know
what?
what? You could even go in. You could even go in and then just add a sl to the very beginning. Like you could just overdub just the tiniest SL to that part where he says ice, and it would sound like Slice. So, but were you serious? You're actually going to do this? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, there's other lyrics in
it'd
that
be
song
funny
that
to
work
do.
out real well too for that whole thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's something about sliding.
Like a razor blade, too fast.
Someone's heard the song too many times.
Right.
I'm just
Right.
old. I grew up with that. That was on the radio, like when I was in like school.
Absolutely. Other DJs
Really?
say damn. You know what? And it's funny that you bring that up because he has this show on, I don't know, like the DIY network called the Vanilla Ice Project, where he goes around helping people. Or well, actually, his main show is renovating houses and flipping them. But then there's this one that's like Vanilla Ice goes Amish, and so he like
I
goes,
saw that.
Oh yeah,
goes and lives
I
with
saw
these
that.
Amish people.
I saw that.
And I don't know, it's nice to know that you can go from top of the charts, multi-platinum rapper, and then, in a couple of years, help out some people who don't have electricity or choose to not have electricity.
I think they think they're helping him out. Actually, is what
Right? The producers told him it was like rehab or something.
Oh, yeah, there, my boy. Yeah. Raise the spawn tonight. Yeah.
And you know what? Sad, Jez, is I'm subconsciously going to be expecting you to do this because you had me totally paying attention. I was like, oh, Jez is about to tell us about his next project. This is going to be
this
cool,
better be real.
right? Right. So Jez, if you
The
have
word you're looking for is gullible.
free time on your hands, you need to do it. I think that it's something that you need to do.
I'm sure I could collect enough clips and some random rumbles.
Yes. So that's it. I think
Try
that is
number 43 of ending the show. Go ahead. Try ending the show. Go ahead.
But yeah. So unless you had anything else, Agrios, any other bits of information?
Not in the news department. Nope.
Got it. Well, cool. Well, hopefully River will be back next week. Old man, it was really great having you on the show.
Hey, it was great fun. I'm available.
Cool.
All the time.
Well, awesome. We will definitely have you on again.
Okay.
And you can tell mommy that you didn't embarrass yourself.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty, so shout outs. We do a shout out at the end of the show. Old man, who is your shout out?
Little Lucy.
Oh, little Lucy.
Little Lucy.
Little Lucy. What a very nice shout out. Is there anything you'd like to say to her in particular?
Hi, little Lucy. Pa going senile.
You could teach that to her. She's
What?
taking words and spitting them back out at us. I really need to need to cut it out with the F word.
Oh, great, really?
Bad daddy.
Really?
Agrios.
I want to shout out to all the Guardians who are in it for the long haul, who are gearing up from the start to now to gear up who are trying to complete their grimoires, who are trying to collect every exotic in the game, who got their nose to the grind. Shout out to all those ones gearing up for House of Wolves.
Excellent. And next week when River is back, hopefully, we will be talking about hours played and exotics gained. By next week, the House of Wolves will have been out for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
Like you're going to get anybody to listen. They're going to be playing it.
well, so I would say the majority of people who listen are people who are listening in situations
play.
where they can't play.
Yeah. Okay,
Like,
there you
Or
go.
are listening while they're playing.
Yeah.
Right.
I know lots of people who do that.
That would be cool. I will. Awesome. Jez.
Shout out to Vanilla Icebreaker, who rocks a mic like a vandal.
Oh, so good. So good.
There it is.
This better come to be.
Right.
I mean, you've gone too far now.
Right, you've gone too far and you've made your case, Jez. Like like if anybody didn't want to hear it before that, now it's time.
So my shout out for tonight is actually going to be to the Bungie testing team who was able to find this issue before it messed everyone's game up. Shout out to them. Shout out to the guys who had to put in the long hours to get the fix, and hopefully it's a smooth update and improves the game a lot.
Man, I wish I could bring them like donuts or something. I imagine that I could, but I guess that wouldn't really help them do their job. Bungie's got it covered.
It might make for some interesting programming.
Don't you remember a while ago there was a gaming company and someone sent them a bunch of donuts?
Oh, yes. And they posted about it, and it made me want donuts. Crispy clean. Yeah, I agree, Crimson Warlock. Shout out to those guys. My shout out is to the other half of the people responsible for my existence, my mommy. Tell her I said hi, old man.
I will. Yeah.
That wraps up episode 40. I would like to thank everyone listening for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics to be discussed on the show, please leave them in the comments below or send them to feedback@guardian1.net, and we will see you next week.